level, which is this. X and Y meters and our Z, which is the depth now in feet. That's the first thing you want to come here. Now, if you still go back to our world equation, it tells us our exact solution where those wells were built. That's more like our coordinates. And I wouldn't want to go back there, but set that to match that exact position. You come to use your coordinate reference system. You click on select.
Any of you also just round up someone who attends.
I wanted to show you meters instead of feet.
Come here.
Depth.
Type me now.
There's nothing to say to say people are fast.
Type me now. If you go to your data, you see this. I'm not just typing. This comes to our data. Check your well equation. This comes with it. And the exact position where our well was made is Niger Delta mid-belt. That tells you the exact reference point to coordinate. So you come down. Once you type your winner, you come down and you see the Nigeria mid-belt. You click on that. And you see now, before doing the whole Nigeria mid-belt stuff, you never notice this point. But you click on that mid-belt, that's when you notice this point. That tells you the exact coordinate. Then you click on OK. You set your reference system. Click on OK. You set your reference system. I said go to your coordinate reference system, you click on select. There's a box here. From the data, your world equation, you see your coordinate reference system there. You set that, you click here in this box, you type me now. Then you had a whole lot of things there. But now, for the fact you type me now, they've actually reduced to few words. Wow. I said go to your world equation. If you go there, you see that coordinate reference system. I'm not just typing it from my head. More like how you got your meters and your feet. This was not just from my head. It's from your data. Are you getting me? Huh? Now, once you type me now, you go down. Not speak from my head, from your data you are given. You see Nigeria mid-belt. Once I click on there, you see the exact position on the map. You get that?
The OK is hiding from me.
I say OK.
If you cannot find your OK is there. Just shrink the window. Just shrink it and raise it. The OK is just there.
That coordinate system is telling you you should demand for it as money for data. You understand this? Mid-belt. The location of where the data is coming from, you can demand for it as part of your data requirement. But they should put also the location of the field. Do you understand? They should provide information about the location of the field. The location of the field is what they are putting there. That mid-belt, because we know it's mid-belt. But we check the duration, it's not too far for that place. But when you are demanding for it, it's not going to come in your data. So tell them to tell you where is the field located. If you don't know the location of the field, it's wrong. Not as if you cannot do interpretation, but it's good to know where that field is located on the surface of the earth. Not as if they don't give you, cannot still work with it. You can work with it. You can even without doing this, putting that mid-belt, you can still put any Nigerian belt. You can put mid-belt, you can put west belt to work in that. But for the purpose of real life work between the industries, you should put the real location of the field there. So it's in typing Nina. Really? Sir. So what are they doing the bank? Sir? What are they doing the bank? I think so the two reference stations in Nigeria. Sorry, yes, sorry. The two reference stations in Nigeria. Sorry, sir. Yeah. Okay. So what are they doing?
What's it meant to show that?
two, Prof said there are two, you need to know there are two references. Let me put it this way. There are two different references in terms of the coordinate system where you bring your references to. In Nigeria, people have done geographic information before. You will know that. For you to have GTM coordinates, there must be a reference point. In Nigeria, there's one in Mina and one in Lagos. You understand? So they are referencing everything to those locations. Those values you see in your north and east now telling you, it's meters. It's meters from that reference. How many meters from that reference point? In the future time, that's how it's calculated. So it just says it's important you know that we have two geodetic centers in Nigeria. One in Mina and one in Lagos. Those are two places that we presume that coordinates will not change over time. It was a difficult process for them to map all those things around the world. You have those geodetic centers. Because those are the places that they assume that coordinates are the same, they don't change. You know geographic information, but some and things like that. But we are referencing everything to Mina. This project refers to what? To Mina.
Okay, look at my screen. Why are you listening to my voice? You don't use your eyes to listen to me. Watch the screen. Watch how my cursor moves. Listening to me. Watch the screen before you do it on your system. We've done our unit settings. We've set our coordinates. Now go to this settings one. Miscellaneous settings one. Click on it. You have all of this. Miscellaneous settings one. Now you have autosave every. Double it up. This is actually to save your Petrel. Depends on you. Maybe say light condition or how your system works better. I could decide to change this to 20. I could decide to change it to 30. This actually determines the time your work saved. At 15 now, 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes automatically saved by itself. Not me. I can actually save it myself, fine. But for the fact I'm working, I will just be so engrossed in the work and automatically my Petrel just keeps saving every 15 minutes. So if you want it to save every 1 hour, you can change it. If you want it to save every 1 minute, you can change it. So let's leave it at 15. So we talk about auto-save every 15 minutes. Then silent auto-save. I've covered on 2 boxes there to save my work every 15 minutes. And apparently I believe some of you are not seeing your OK. And you're supposed to click on OK. Look at my cursor. This is how you drag down your boxes where your OK is hidden or your apply is hidden. Look at my cursor. You go there, you click, and you drag down. You raise it up. I have my apply and my OK.
There is a big screen. That might not worry you. The screen is small. Don't kill yourself.
You get me? So if you've done that, you apply. If you notice, the boxes are off.
So, je click OK.
Nothing will happen. So you just come to me. Yeah. Let's make it more. Who calls it? Now I clicked OK,
apply
and
first
the boxes I talked on went off. So I do that again and apply. Now it's there and I say OK. I have done the necessary settings I need to do with regards to my unit, my reference, and also saving my work. Now that is just the settings I've done. But the fact, okay, let's say if you're using your Microsoft Word and you're typing, you get to save your work somewhere so that you can always go back. This is Petrel. Yes, it's in the system, but for the fact we want to do something here, we need to save our work somewhere that we can always make reference to. Like I showed you here, these are jobs I already have in my system. This is because I've saved them, I can always come back to it. So now let's save our work somewhere very secure, where nothing, unless you choose to delete it, happen to it. So for us to save our work, we go to File, then you say Save Project As. Go to your drive C. I want to save it to your drive C. Go to your drive C. Make a new folder. This is your computer now. Go to your drive C. Make a new folder. Are you lost? If you're lost, form attention. You're lost. I said, go to file. Save project as. Save your work. Wow, save project as. Then go to your PC because I want you to save it to your drive C. Go to your PC. Click on your drive C. Then I need you to make the new folder for it. Right click there, then go to new folder. Who is lost? Raise your hand so someone will come and attend to you. I want you to give this folder a name. The name that you can always remember. You can use your name if you want, or just say training.
Your drive C is inside the computer. The computer icon. Some of you may not see the drive C, written drive C. What is the local disk C? So once you click on the computer icon, you will see the local disk C. Double click.
Give that folder a unique name. You can give it your name, you can give it your brother's name, your pet's name, whatever. Just give it a unique name. If you have that folder, like I have my training, you click it. You double click that folder, you open that folder. You have this now. Then I can actually give my work, say yes. Then say my file name yes. My file name yes. Then I say then if you look at my Petrel now, at the top of it, you see yes, that's the unique name. That's the name I've given to my project. So whenever I want to open this work, I look out for BSc, just like this now. Because once you open your Petrel, you always get a new interface. So for you to always open that initial one, you come to your file and you go to your BSc. Did you get me? Are we all here? This is just the first part of it. Now we want to import our data properly. We've just done our necessary settings. We've saved our Petrel area, we need to save it so we can always go back to the job. So now we want to import our data. And we made mention, okay, that our data set had a whole lot of things, a whole lot of folders. You can't just start importing without knowing what you're importing and how you need to import it. The first thing you import is your well header. The well header actually tells you the exact position with respect to the reference coordinates of your well on that particular field.
Please, this place, I think I should also be clicking this in. I'm seeing many of them from about it.
Alright, let me explain what it means. If you look at this part of it, depends on your system, what's inside and how okay the system is working. You might notice here, might turn red as you proceed. This point where you have brown might turn red as you proceed. All you need to do is click and you refresh it. Once it turns red, if not, your Petrel will crash. And if it crashes, it won't wait for you. You are setting the next bar, your Petrel comes on and it won't wait for you. That's just it. So be very observant of that particular round box. Once it turns red, you click and you refresh. You do that as much as you can. That's to come back to the original color, not red again. So while we are working, don't so carry away. Always look out for that point.
Right.
Okay, what did you say, round? I said look at this point, look at my cursor. Once this point turns red, make sure you click and refresh it. Once you click and refresh a few times, it changes from red back to its original color. If you don't get to notice it, your Petrel will crash. You don't have that wait for you.
There are 3 windows to be using all the time. I only want to explain those 3 windows because in the whole of this project, there are 3 windows to be using all the time. Note so that you don't always have to call someone's attention every single time. This includes pay. Everything that is going to be bought in is going to stay there. Anything you are bringing into the software, whatever you are bringing in, will stay in the input pay. You all see the results of what you are bringing there. If you don't see it there, it means you are not coming. You understand? Whatever you are bringing in stays in the input pay. Whatever you will do will also be in the input pay, except you have finished your whole interpretation and you want to go into modeling. Before you need to have this in a model page. The purpose of this study is entering modeling. So everything you will do will start and end that was input page. Do you understand? Another thing you need to do is notice everything in Petrel is Windows specific. In a lot of things we've done in the past, a lot of people always have this challenge. My own is showing you, my own is not showing. This person cannot show and your own not show. This is the same thing. What do I mean? When he says display, it just show the Windows button. That's the Windows button. I see the Windows button button. That Windows button. No, just, I want to say fair Windows where they don't display the window. Just read it with Windows there. No, I know. That they must have learned.
My skin screens, so they can.
No, from here. There, not passing. That white square. And I see that also. So, this is what these are anything you want to display. Note. Avoid the best. Anything you do in Petrel, start and end with this. But everything you want to see, visualization, anything you want to see, needs a window for that. Do you understand? Everything is Windows specific. There will be toggle on buttons beside different spots on the page and toggle on. If you are not on the right window, you will not see a button toggle on. Do you understand? That's what I mean. These are all the windows you'll be using. You will not use more, but any time they say, go and display to your any windows. This is why you create it from. Do you understand? When you create it, it's going to take this full screen and just want to visualize. Do you get it?
Yes.
So when it says 2D windows, you display. If it says 2D window, you go and display histogram window. And then this guy is displaying something and seeing it. You will not see the same thing. You might not be able to talk with one. Everything in Petrel is window specific. You need a window to visualize. If you are not in the right window, you cannot visualize. That's again, the final thing, I think there are 3 things. Input pane, the window button, and this Windows button you see by the side. See this Windows button you see by the side? It's a dynamic window. When you go there, it comes out. When you go out of it, it locks itself. I see that. Please go to that window. Do not close the window from up there. I see that close. Don't close it there. You will remove it from that place entirely. Do you understand? If you are not using that window, shift your cursor out of it to block itself. Now, when you display a 2D window and a 3D window here, for example, when I say close the window, you can close the window from here. You understand? Display what you see. Now, you are displaying the window now, the 2D window. This is the window we can use to visualize stuff. Now, if you go to that window there, I see that window there, it shows the windows that are on display, all the windows you have ever brought out to here. Do you understand? Now, if I tell you to close this window, it does not mean delete it. Just close this window so you can see. If you close this window, it does not mean you have deleted from the project. If you go to the windows pane by the side, then you will see it there. You can display it back again by simply what? Toggling it on. Do you understand? You can see it and toggle the window on. So when I say close it here, close it here. Always listen to the window display. 2D window, 3D window, well section window, interpretation window. Those are the windows you'll be using. So listen attentively and don't display the 3D window when you say 2D window. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we want to import our header. Our header gives us the exact position of our well. So for us to do that, you already have your
call it, your data set. The data set was shared to everybody. I believe everybody has the same data set. So now I want to believe you know the position of your data set because we can't be going around to check your data set. Most of you should have that on your desktop. Now, one thing what our well headers. Right click on our index pane. This is the index pane we talk about. Right click on it. Import file. Are we together? Huh? Are you here? Do you have this on your screen? Yes. You guys are not responding.
Yes.
Alright. If you have this, it might not be exactly the same thing, but one thing I know I need you to do, you must have an interface like this if you click on import. You get? So I want you to go back to your data set that was shared to you guys. You know where you save it, it was on desktop. You click on desktop, then you look for that data set. Look at mine. That's my data set. And this is all I have. Go to your desktop, look for your data set, and you have this. Are you there?
Not minimize Petrel.
I said we're importing our headers first. This is our header. So you open the header folder. You double click, you open the header folder. And this is what we have in our header folder. Now for every file we want to import, there's a format that supports it. You can't just click on header and you think you just import it. We talked about ASCII and last. So now for our header, if I click on my header, it appears here in my file name. I don't know what's written here in your file type. If it's check shot, it might be something else. No, now some of you might not see your header if you open your header folder. Some of you might not see it because you don't have the file type to match that header. Now what you do is you come to your file of type, you do the drop down, you see a whole lot of files there. So you look for wellheads. You come down and you see wellheads. This is just the file type there for wellheads. So if you click on it, automatically that your header that was missing will appear. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you all have your headers now?
Yes.
So now, if your header is not appearing here in your file name, just click on it, it will appear. And if you have the correct file type, which is wellhead, if you have it, then you click on open. You see all of this. Did you guys get to this point?
Yes.
Alright, let me go back. I said, look at my screen while you listen to me. You right click on your input space, import file. I said go to the folder that contains your data. Most of you have it on your desktop. Click on your desktop. Here, look at me. Desktop. I go to that folder that has my data, which is my data set here. I said we are importing our header first. Open the header folder. For you, I don't know what's here as your file of type, but for every data you're importing in Petrel, you have a particular format which is imported with. If you don't have wellheads here, you do this drop down, click on this drop down, you see a whole lot of formats for which you import data with. Select wellheads. seeing me? You click on wellhead, then your header will appear. You click on your header, it will not appear here in your file name. Do you have that?
Yes.
Then you say OK. Open. You click on open, you have this interface. I want to believe all of you have this interface.
Yes.
But now, I wouldn't want to proceed further. I want to leave yours the way it is. I want to show you something. We talked about, okay, they are explained it. We talked about importing your headers. You mentioned a few things that are very important while you're importing your headers. Now, I want to show you, I want to do this drag, I want to drag down so you can see it very well. Alright, let me just go here. I'll show you something. Look at my header now displayed. Look at my header. What do I have? Name, X, Y, K, E, T. Those are just the 5 things I have in my wellhead. That's my data. And if you look at your screen, you're seeing name, UWI, you're seeing a whole lot of things there.
Yes.
You get? So, your UWI here is not even stated here in your data. So, if you get to leave your UWI there and try to import, you will never import. It will go through. So now, going back to my Petrel, don't do it again, I'll just show you something. So now I have this. That is not just what I have. If you enlarge this, you see other things there. You see other things that are not really in your data. So you need to take some off while you leave some. And one of the things you need to leave is the name. Are you getting me? Now I want to show you where you need to confirm these things. Now my screen is giving me issues because of the projector. I would have shown you, if you can actually do the drag down, take it up, you can actually extend from this lower part. Extend it. Extend it, then you get to see your name.
Yes.
You can see your name, your XY, your KB, and all of that. Mine is not really coming out now because of my projector. My screen is a bit small. So I'm sorry. But just to confirm what your report is, just like I showed you before now, your name first, you have it in your column 1. Are you getting me? So this UWI is not needed. You need one identifier because you are not giving it your headers data. You need to take that off. And one way to do that is you click on 2. I'm highlighted on that column entirely. You click on 2 and you use this delete the column in the table, which is red cross here. You click on that and that is gone. You click on 2, highlight the whole of that column. Have you done that? Yes. 2 is gone. So now the next thing, if you look at the lower part of that interface, you see your X, your Y, right? That was the next thing.
Yes.
Your X and your Y, and you already have your surface X and your surface Y. That's alright.
Yes.
You get, you don't necessarily need to have just X, surface X, surface Y. At times that point might come as your longitude and your latitude, depending on how your data came. That's how you report. Now you have your surface X and Y. So your next point is KB. Your KB here means well datum value. So which is what you have in your column 4. Your KB means well datum value. That's what you have in your column 4. And your column 5 actually is your total depth. So to change your column 5, which is well datum named total depth, which is your TE, you click here on well data name, you see a whole lot of things popping out. So your total depth is this, which is the last column there. You click on TD. You see what you have there changes automatically. So you have from your 1 to 5, you have name, surface X, surface Y, well data value, and your TD. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Now, the next thing you do is you need to delete from your column 6, which is actually unnecessary. From your column 6, you highlight and you drag down to the last. You click on your column 6, you highlight and you drag down to the last. It's actually going to highlight that way. Excuse me, please.
Any challenge?
Don't go back. See,
That's the delete button. The red one. The red one is delete.
You highlighted, you have your screen like this from column 6. You click at the top of it and you drag down to the last to highlight like this. Or you can actually click individually and delete, just like I deleted that UWR. You can click from your column 6 individually and you delete one by one. Are you getting me? Or you click on your column 6 and you drag down to the last. And if you actually drag down, the next thing you do is click on this and you delete. What you have is just the 5 columns, which is actually what was given us in our headers. If you add an extra column to this, no matter what you do on Petrel, it won't import. You can try that at home. You can just use one unique name or one extra column and see what happens. You will never import it. So if you've actually done this, the next thing you do is, you look at this. You see number of header lines. I believe yours is 0. And our number of header lines is just the name, that row, where you have your name, surface X, surface Y, well data value and your TD. That is your header line. That is just one row. I'm not talking about the column now. You have columns and you have rows. The column, before, if you look at the lower part of the screen, where you have that your name, surface X, surface Y, surface TD and all of that, it's just one. Immediately after that, it's now your data itself. Are you getting me? Immediately after that, is where you have line 1, line 2. Is that correct? Are you getting me?
Yes.
Now, meaning, immediately after that line, where you have that row, where you have your name, your surface X, which is just one. Meaning, you have just one header. So all you need to do, instead of changing it to any other number, you have just one header. So you need to put 1. You click on that and you put 1. Your header line is 1. Hope you understand what I mean by header line. The row before your column, you have just one row before your column.
Yes.
Before your data itself, you have just one row before your data itself, your proper data. It's just one. I'm not talking about the column, you have several columns, but the row that contains your name and all of that is just one. So you change that to 1. So the next thing you do is undefined value. We talked about null value. We said 999.25. So you have just 999 there. Yes, minus 999.25. That's what you use as a null value. So all you need to do is you click on that and you put minus 999.25. Just add an extra 25 to it instead of just the 999. So that Petrel knows whenever it's 999.25, it's a null value. It's undefined. Are we there? Yeah. So the next thing I want you to do is okay for all. Huh? Do you have this interface or you have issues? You also come up to this point.
Raise your hand, man.
If you have issues, raise your hand. If you don't have this on your screen, raise your hand. If you don't have this on your screen, raise your hand so they will attend to you. So if you all have this, then okay for all. We've reported our headers. Now, I want you to go to your Windows page. Look at my cursor. You see this drop down. I don't leave it like this because mine is at the bottom of my screen. I'm having issues with it. You might see window under when you see something like this. You might see window under. So you do the drop down. I want to toggle on 3D window. Toggle on your 3D window. Have you done that? Have you done that? Yes. Now, toggle on this row. Toggle on this row. Your video space, the box by the side of the row. Toggle this on.
Toggle on what?
Well, look at it. Here your video space. Toggle it on. Then you see the two wells. And this, the header just helps them place them in their exact position with reference to the coordinates. That's why you need to report the headers first. So since it's a 3D window, you can actually move around. You can move around and see them. See what they look like. This is the well on your 3D window. It doesn't really make any sense now. But just click and move. Better if you can come with your mouse tomorrow. Better. If you can come with your mouse tomorrow, that will be better for you. I don't sabi but I still use mouse. So you pick up your mouse tomorrow. It's better for you. So this is the well, two wells. That area usually just contains two wells. That's why you're seeing just two wells. You might have more than this. So now the next thing you import, listen to me. And besides, when you start making noise, remember your record is your own noise you record, not my voice. Because I'm trying to shout as much as I can. Now the next thing you import is the well duration. We explained that earlier. Your work.
That guy they ask question.
He said? That I just want to display the well so you can see generally what we report at deviation. If there's a deviation, we see that's the well. Now it's just straight. If you look at your well here on this 3D window, it's just straight. They are just straight lines. So next time when we report at deviation, if the well was actually created while drilling, because of the deviation data we are going to report next, it's actually going to show on your 3D window better if there was a deviation. Yes, I can still display this well on my 3D window, but you don't see it this way. You just see those round edges. You just see those points. Let me just show you what I mean. My wells on my 2D window can be displayed. It's my choice. This is what it looks like now. It doesn't make any sense because I can't move it. This is the most I can move it. Are you getting me? So there's no particular reason. But now let's look at my 3D window. And now I said the next thing we are importing is our well duration. Now go to your input space. Alright, let me explain something. Look at my screen. Look at my screen very well. You see an arrow by the side of my well. This arrow now is white. When I tell you drop down on something, when I tell you drop down, no see. When I tell you drop down, I mean drop down on this arrow. Definitely I'll specify that I want to drop it down. Now if I tell you drop down on my well, I mean do this, just click on it. If you drop down, it's black now because I've displayed everything that is contained under my well. If I tell you drop down on well attributes, all I need to do is come here and drop down. Did you get me?
Yes.
When I tell you drop down, that's what I expect you. I'll specify where I want you to drop down. And when I tell you topple on, I want you to just, if this place was empty, like the wells here, I tell you topple on, I just want you to come to that box and click that box. You have this mark inside of it when I say topple on. That's why I mean. When I mean drop down and toggle on. So know the difference. Now, we're importing our well duration. Well duration is still the data that comes to the well. You're not import separately. Those are still well data. So I can't say let me import separately from my well. So I'm still going to import it into my well because it's the data that's still from my well. So now I'll right click on your well. Right click on your wells. I did tell you to right click on any well. If you're seeing anything else, you're seeing well 1 and well 7. That's not where I asked you to right click. Let me make everything just one now. I said right click on your well. You see all of this. Import on selection. You have this new interface. Import on selection. You have this new interface. Now go back to your data set that contains all your data. We've imported our headers. So remember I said the next thing we're importing is our well duration. So open your well duration folder. You have well 7 and well 1. So meaning we have provided the deviations for the two wells. So if any was actually deviated, you see when we import this. So what I want you to do now, if you have this, is you highlight these two wells. For you to highlight that, you click on the first one, you press shift, and you click on the second one. You've highlighted the two wells. You click on the first one, you click on shift, you press shift on your system, then you click on the second one. I didn't tell you to click and drag. Click on the first one first. Click on the first one first. Then you press shift. You come back and click on the second one. You've highlighted it that way. Are we okay? Are we okay? I hate no response. If I pass on, I'll cry. Alright. Now, if you highlighted yours like this, you can see your file name, you have your well 7 deviation and your well 1 deviation, right? Yes. Now, your file of type is well heads, you have there, but that does not support the well deviation format. So you need to change that format to the format that supports your well deviation. So you do this, you click the drop down here. So you go down, see well parts plus deviation ASCII. If you go to your data, open it properly, you see your deviation data comes in ASCII format.
Please select well parts plus deviation.
Select well parts, not deviation ASCII, not well parts for survey. Select well parts deviation ASCII. Have you done that?
Yes.
Then you click on open. You have this little box now. Now you have well 1 and well 7 deviation. I want you to match your well traces. Look at this point now. You see create new, create new. If you click on the first one, you have items dropping down. So match well 1 to well 1 on the left too. Match them together. Don't put well 7 and well 1. Put well 1 to well 1. Then well 7 to well 7. Match them. Are you okay? Yes. Now if you match your trace and your wells, all you need to do is okay. You have this interface, right? Now I want you to drag this interface, make it big, because I want to show you something here. I pray my now you look at this. Look at these boxes here. I want you to look at my cursor. I'm scrolling down. Though mine is small. But I believe yours is better. Use this arrow here. Scroll down. to the point where you have this line 16. You have your MD, your X, your Y, your Z, your TPD, your blah blah blah. Go to line 16. I said use the arrow here. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now if you look at this line 16, your MD here is on the 1. And if you look at this, your MD here is on the 1. Are you with me? Now, you have the next one, incline, azimuth. Now, I want you to count from that MD on your line 16. Tell me what number is your incline and what number is your azimuth. Your incline is on what number? Your incline is on 9. Are you sure? Now, remember, here at the upper part of it, your incline is on 8. So I want you to change that to 9. And the azimuth is on what? 8. So you change it to 8. Make sure you're doing this. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, come down to this other setting. You see your null value. Double it on. And you correct it to minus 999.25. There is 299. Correct it to minus 999.25. Have you done that?
Yes.
Hope you've corrected your incline to 9 and your azimuth to 8.
Yes.
If you've done that, I want you to come to coordinates and units. Click on coordinates and unit star. Come to your coordinates and unit star. Then I want you to toggle on your true north from your data. That's what it's made of us. There's in our true north. Toggle your true north on. And apparently, this data we are using right now is an onshore data, not an offshore data. So I want you to toggle on onshore. Toggle on onshore.
And sometimes you can ask the company that is easy and onshore offshore. Nothing should be yourself. What the company is telling you. Easy and onshore, easy and offshore. So specify.
Now I don't know if anybody is having issues with this particular place. I want to import my well deviation. I want to start afresh now. Import on selection. If I right click on my well, import on selection. I go to my data housing, my folder housing all my data. I open my well deviation folder. I have just 2 wells, and those 2 wells are provided with well deviation data. You highlight it. You click on the first one. Somebody corrected me, say hold down your shift. Then you click on the second one. Then you set your file type to well path / deviation ASCII. Then you click on open. You have this little interface here. I want you to match your well. So you click on the drop that has create new. You match well 1 on the left to well 1 on the right. Don't match well 1 and well 7. You match well 1 to well 1. You match well 7 to well 7. Then click on OK. Takes you to this other interface. Then I told you, make it bigger than what it was, what it came as. Then use this arrow at the lower part of it that has your header information. You go to line 16. You see your MD, your X, your Y, your Z, your TPD. You see a whole lot of columns there containing several things. Now I said your column 1, here is your MD. If you look at this upper part, your column 1 is
MD, correct.
MD here, which is very correct. Now I said count from your MD to where you have your incline. What number is your incline and what number is your azimuth? Also, my incline is 9, right?
Yes.
And my azimuth is 8. 9, and 8. We correct it. This one is actually blurred. So we can't make any effect on this. This is how the system needs it. So now I said, come to your null value where you have other settings. He made mention of this. Your null value is minus 999.25, not minus 299. So you have to correct that. Minus 999.25. If you've done all of that here in your input pane, your input data tab, you come to your coordinates and units. You click on that tab. You have some other tab. I said, toggle on true north. Then toggle on onshore. Your data is an onshore data.
There's nothing on the file settings.
No, we can't make any effect there. No matter if you don't make any effect there, the company that just down that place, you don't need to. When it is important, now if you make effect, you will count check the other thing for that line 16. You can there. You get me? So that will be okay for all. When you say okay for all, it applies to your whole wells, like the whole well is important. Two wells, not just apply to one. So you click on okay for all. That is our well division will be counted. Now, if you move around this, you might not really notice any deviation, meaning this one was not really deviated. But maybe I could still go, I wouldn't want to take our time, but I'll show you what if you have deviation from some other work. But I just was there, but this is just two wells. There's no proper deviation there to see. Some wells are actually very deviated. Like you would see, very deviated. Are you getting me? So for the fact you're not seeing any deviation here, does not mean there's actually no deviation. It's actually not very, very visible to the eye. But some wells, if you see the deviation, it's very, very conspicuous. Now, the next thing we'll import is our log, our well log. So if you right click on your well, then you go to import on selection. Right click on your well, import on selection. Then you go back to the main data set, having all your data. Then click on your well log folder, open it. You have well 1 and well 7 like this under your well log folder. Are you with me?
Yes.
So that the rest of right click. Folder housing all your data. Open your well log folder. You have this under your well log. Yes. Well 1 and well 7. Remember that's just the two wells you have. So you still highlight those two things like need for well duration. You click. Okay. First, let's look at our file type. Because some of you might not really have the well 1 and the well 7 there. So let's set the proper file type for our well log. So you drop down on your file type. Then you use our well whole lot of formats here. Well log gassy, well log heat, and well log glass. This particular data is an RC data. So we select well log gassy. So if you're not having your well 7 and your well 1 there, once you select that well log gassy, automatically it will pop up. If it was not there at all. Now, if you have your well 1 and your well 7, just highlight those two wells before you click on open. You click on the first one, you hold down on your sheet, then you click on the second one. Are you with me? If you've done that, if you've highlighted and you've selected the proper file type, the next thing you click is on open. Automatically, they are matched. Your well 1 to well 1, your well 7 to well 7. So the next thing you do is okay. Remember, our MD is on 1, so we don't have to make any changes there. So I want you to go to OK for all here, click on OK for all. We reported our well logs. We reported our well logs. Are we okay? Are we on the same page? So what we import our check shot? Our check shot is very important because we need it for several, basically, what we want to do our time.
Check shots are very important.
So let me open our check shot and show you what our check shot looks like. Some of you might have, in your folder, you might have 2 check shots. Use the one with the underg. Hold on, I'm just telling you when I ask you to import. Use the check shot with the underg. Are you getting me? Use this check shot with underg when I ask you to import. But for now, I want to show you something. This is our check shot containing just 2 columns, our 2-way time and our MD. Our 2-way time and our MD. That's just what is contained in our check shot. So now let's report our check shot data. It might contain more than that. That's what I was talking about before. I have to take that every other part off. Your important thing is your 2-way time and your MD. So now, if we want to report our check shot, you might click here on your well, you report on selection. You go to your data set, housing all of it. You double on, you open your check shot folder, you have your check shot under G. If you have 2 check shots, make sure you're using the check shot under G. You don't have under G, then you've not collected the new one, you shared it and you didn't get to it. I have 3. Is that? I have 3 check shots. You have what? 3. You have under G, under G.
Use under G.
If that goes to the flash, you don't get it. You will get it.
You have a check shot that ends with under G.
I just want that under G. Your check shot should have under G. If it's not having under G, make sure you get the one with under G.
If it's not that close, you can check the level of the
Remember your null value, your undefined value is minus 999.25. You correct that. Now, your two-way time value, if you look at your two-way time values, all your values there are positive, as in the values you have in your columns, your two-way time and your MU. Your positive values. Now, your values actually, your two-way time, Petrel recognizes it in negative format. And now, they are giving the check shot from your notepad, you open your check shot, it's positive, your two-way time and your MU. Now, if you look down there where you have your time domain, you have negate time value. Remember, I said your values there, the two columns are positive. And we want it to come negative because Petrel doesn't recognize it when it's negative. You get? So for us to make that happen, for us to import it in the negative format at two-way time, we need to toggle on that negate time value. That time value has to be on. If it's not, if you don't have this box on like this, then you're putting it off. If you have this off and your two-way time is in positive, meaning you're importing it in positive. If there's nothing in that box, like I don't have anything here in my box, meaning I'm importing it with the positive signs my data came with. But if I have this double on, meaning automatically I am making it come in negative form, which is the way Petrel will recognize it. Did I make myself clear?
Yes.
So toggle on your negate time values and the next thing I want you to see here is connect to trace. This connect to trace is well 1. You have just well 1 here because it's well 1 only for that particular field that the check shot law was ran. They didn't run it for any other word, it was just for your well 1. That's why you have well 1 there. So the next thing you do is OK for all. Then you have this OK for all. So we imported Are you okay? Are we on the same page?
Okay for all different. I don't have any.
Do you have a blank screen like mine?
Yes.
Now we've imported everything that has to do with our law. I want you to import. Okay, I want to import our if I tell you to import seismic data. I want to import our seismic data. We've imported everything that has to do with law. If you open that your data set and you open your law, you get to see a whole lot of things. We've imported everything that has to do with our law. Now I want to import the seismic data. I just put the area of seismic, people and all of that. I don't be see how much I don't see. Then the ground report for me. Just seismic report. So I have to take it more now. Seismic now is not part of the world information. So seismic has to be imported on its own. Now, I don't know what your screen looks like with regards to your infield space. For me, I just have the world. If you want to have just the world, like my display there, use this your drop down. Just click on it. If yours is down, like if yours is black, it's displaying all of this. Come here, click on it, you have just world. So we can import our seismic. Seismic is not part of the world information, it has to be imported on its own. So you come to any empty space here, you right click, import file. Now you have your data set and you have your seismic folder. You open your seismic folder, you CSPDC, over 28, follow, blah, blah, blah. That's more like it. That's the show that OL means oil mining 28. That's the name of the field. That's just giving you the name of the seismic, where it was acquired, the location and all of that. So that doesn't really count now. I want you to look at something. Look at this seismic data. So the type is ZGY file. Look at this side, ZGY file. And remember, I tell you, every data you're exporting has its format in which it comes. So go to your file type. Look for S. S, where you have your seismic. So this tells you your data is in ZGY format. So you click ZGY seismic data. Look at
arrows move up and down by the side now.
Look at where I have my own cursor. ZGY seismic data. You click on that and we have your file type as ZGY seismic data. So the way you import a seismic is actually dependent on the format of it comes. If you look at that file type, you see a whole lot of formats.
Move my data here. You want to plug your phone now? When is one or two pin you're good.
Alright, let's go back to this our interface. Now let's change our file type to seismic data in ZGY format.
Look at the seismic.
Look at the seismic here. You have ZGY
At the
file
end of the
type.
seismic is .ZGY.
Look at this ZGY file type. So change it to seismic data in ZGY format. Click on that as your file type. Then you click on now the seismic data itself. Comes into your file name. If you've done that, you click on OK. Then you have this new interface. You click on OK for all. Then you have a whole lot now on your input page. You have all of this on your input page.
Yes.
Are we on the same page?
Yes.
So you see there?
It's going to be ensured you collect a soft copy of your manual, at least. So when you're practicing at home, the manual will help with your videos. So you can repeat it. Because I will give you assignments.
Where this paper?
I hope you have all of this in your input page. Hope you have this in your input page.
Yes.
Because we subscribe to everything, our law and our seismic data. So for now, let's just display them. When we display them, then we'll go for our break. Now, I don't know which of the windows you have, if it's just your 2D and your 3D or just your 3D.
Just 3D.
Alright. This mentioned earlier that everything you do on Petrel is window specific. It's not every window you can display anything. Certain windows will never display those things. No matter how much you try to take on it. I want you to come down on your